Comme tous les 4 ans, IS s'apprête à sortir le jeu vidéo officiel de la Coupe du Monde. Et contrairement à ce que l'on pourrait penser, il n'est pas simplement question d'une version de FIFA 10 axée sur les équipes nationales. En plus des 199 sélections jouables, l'éditeur promet de nombreuses améliorations depuis son dernier jeu de football.
In the World Cup game, we have over 100 improvements to the fundamental aspects of gameplay. We've got home and away tactics, we've got altitude, we've got brand new penalty kicks. We've got 2-button controls, a simplified control method, in addition to the normal control method, so people who don't normally play can take part. In terms of the graphics, they look so much better than they have done previously. We've improved the lighting for the players, they look much more realistic, the skin tone looks much better. We've got loads of game modes in there, kick-off obviously, we've got the World Cup offline, we've got the World Cup online, we've got capture your country, a be a pro mode, running through the entire World Cup. We've got story of qualifying, which is a scenario mode. We've got story of the finals, which is a free online service that updates story of qualifying with brand new scenarios as matches happen in South Africa. We've got the World League ladder, which is another online 1v1 mode where you climb a ladder of 10 divisions by earning promotion and relegation over a season of 10 games. And Battle of the Nations, a competition between all the countries around the world to see who's got the best gamers, and that's based on the online World Cup. And there's so much it's making my head spin just to think about it. So this is the only official video game of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. It means that we can have all the teams that took part in the World Cup competition, all 199 teams. You can choose to play as France and qualify just like the French did, or you can choose to play as America Samoa and qualify from the Oceania Confederation, play other small islands, eventually play New Zealand. You get through that, you get to a playoff against an Asian team, and so come to the World Cup finals as an underdog. So anything that happened is possible in the World Cup game. So I think the mode that will really capture the hardcore gamers in this will be the online World Cup. So we've never before had a tournament online where you've got the group stage followed by the knockout stage. So when you play Online World Cup, the first time ever you play it, you choose a team to support. So what is the team that you support? From that point onwards, all your points you earn in the mode go towards that team. You can play the mode as any team you want each time, and you earn more points from using a weaker team than a strong team. So if I play as Vanuatu, I get lots of points for winning matches. If I play as Brazil, less points. And just that whole 7-match process of playing 3 group games against people, trying to qualify in the top 2 positions in the group. In that 3rd group game, we show you the group table with everyone having played 2 matches, and then we bring in the latest score from the other game in your group. So you might go into that game thinking, okay, if I win, I definitely go through. If I draw, it depends on what happens in this other game. So we tell you what happens in that other game. So you can change your tactics. If you're 0-0 and there's 70 minutes gone, and you see the team that was your danger is losing, you can relax because a draw will take you through. But maybe on the opposite side, you now need to win that game when you're drawing, so you have to push forward. So it gives that realistic panic message that you get in the real life tournament. And from there, it's 4 knockout rounds to win the trophy. Knockout football is terrifying by itself. You know, there's no second chance. So that game could go to extra time, it could go to penalty shootout. And one of the guys on the gameplay team is really good at the game, he's really good at penalties. It was his first ever competitive penalty shootout, and he missed his first 3 penalties. He just fell apart with nerves, kept them hitting them wide over the bar, and he lost that penalty shootout. So it'd be good to see how it affects people. So for this game, we haven't included the 10v10 mode. It was something we looked into. But with a national team game, it's very hard to actually come up with a design for 10v10 that works, because the way the game gets played, people want to play with their national team. When it's a club-based competition and you're forming your own club, then it doesn't really matter so much. But when it's a country, you can't really form a country. That doesn't make much sense. When you look at the usage figures for the game, you've got loads of English gamers, loads of French gamers. So the danger was it was just going to turn into a game where it was England v England, France v France, France v England, and there wouldn't have been any variety. So what we did instead with that amount of time was we did the online World Cup tournament, the World League ladder, and we invested in this Story of Finals live service. But we wanted to do a load of new online modes for the World Cup, give the gamers something they've never had before, and see how they like those things. So the gameplay in World Cup is a big difference from the gameplay in FIFA 10. We've added all those new features I've mentioned, so the home and away tactics, the altitude, the 2-button controls for beginners that allow you to play the game but not to master the game. The brand new penalty kicks now where it's not just a case of I choose the direction, the goalkeeper chooses the direction, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, and it either gets saved or it doesn't get saved. It's now a fully analogue control system with a test of your composure as you take the penalty kick, which makes it a much more nerve-wracking experience to take penalties, much harder to take penalties when it really matters. So in the World Cup final, quite tricky. When it's just to qualify, when you're already 5-0 up, it's not very difficult at all. And then the whole fluidity of the game has been improved greatly from FIFA 10, so the game feels much less sticky than it did. Players are able to move off much more quickly with the ball. They can control it with their chest to move at the same time. They can pass it off with their chest. The goalkeeper doesn't come rushing off his line. Free kicks are much more difficult to take now than they were before. So all in all, we have the actual French FIFA 10 champion here today. When I watched him play his first couple of matches, and he was trying to do things that he would normally do in FIFA 10, so he tried to chip the goalkeeper, he had a free kick, he tried to score the free kick, and he couldn't do it, so now he's got to find different ways to beat the game. So it's shown to me that we've done a really good job on changing aspects of the game that were perhaps too easy and delivering a much better game and a much better balanced game than we had before. The graphics engine is greatly improved. We spent a lot of time working on the lighting of the players. On a sunny day, if the sun's up in the sky on that side, you see the very light on that side of the player's face, a bit darker on that side, the kit's lighter down there. And if you compare how it looks in World Cup to FIFA 10, you'll see a big difference in the same artwork basically. So I have an image of Ashley Cole, the England player, on a sunny day in FIFA where his face looks quite flat lit, and in World Cup you can clearly see the lighting from the sun on his shirt, on his face, and at night time as well, his face comes to life much more, his skin tone looks much more realistic. And equally the pitch, we did a similar thing with the pitch. We put a brand new pitch in the game that looks much more like a bright, vibrant, alive, textured grass pitch. And that really, you know, that doesn't change gameplay, but the perception it gives you of the football is, wow, this looks more realistic. For the faces on the players, there's a number of faces that we've gone away and given the players new faces to make them more realistic for this game. And for the ones we haven't touched, it's the improvements in lighting now make those players look better than they did previously in FIFA 10. So the achievements and trophies in the game are probably more challenging than they were the last time around in 2006. We've got a whole host around the online World Cup, for instance, whereby we challenge you to take on that competition with some of the smaller teams. So can you qualify as a 2-star team? There's also a load of accomplishments, so that's our EA Sports system within Capturing Your Country. So if you're playing as a created player, we have lots of virtual pro accomplishments to earn in that mode. And overall, getting all the achievements or getting all the trophies in this game is quite a challenge, so we should give people many hours of playthrough trying to get hold of those.
Malgré tous ces modes de jeu, la version française du titre ne disposera pas d'une option permettant de jouer avec les mains. Cela étant dit, il faudra maintenant attendre le 27 avril prochain pour retrouver Messi, Ronaldo et même Raymond Domenech dans Coupe du Monde de la FIFA Afrique du Sud 2010.